much as catch can.
Okay, so here we go. So inhale, exhale. And inhale. Namo Gurudev Namo
Namo Gurudev
Good. And inhale and exhale and breathe. Now, so your recording is started?
Yes.
Okay, this is Japa Saraswati is teaching us for something.
I want to screen share, start broadcast. There've just been, okay, I am screen sharing. There've just been so many advances with AI lately that I really want to show us what's going on. So I just clicked on, we're on the YouTube app on my phone. This is our channel. I'm going to click on our channel right here for Baba Siri Chand Ashram. Right now, you can see this top black screen. That would be how we would look at us live. But I'm going to go over here to the live videos. And this was our video last week.
Now I have to switch again.
And I paused it. What I want to show us is this, as I'm scrolling down, summarize the video feature. This is going to give us a summary of what happened in last week's audio recording. So it says, this video features a teletalk with Siri Gian focusing on themes of love, consciousness, healing, spiritual growth, particularly in the context of the Aquarian Age. And it goes on to discuss the key points and with time signatures. And then experiences shared by participants during the meditation. And it has each of us and the main things that we talk about in the meditation. And I want everybody to be aware of the records that we are making for so many reasons, because these are now out here online. And enough of this. I'm going to stop screen sharing and we'll get to the business of meditation. How is that?
Okay. Now, wait a minute. There was something. No, I can't see well. Can you tell us what you had those little blurbs for each person? And was that going correctly?
Yes, it is. I found it to be very accurate, but this is part of why, for example, um, I think that we should not use our faces unless it is for a real purpose. You know, I don't think that we should casually be using our faces, not just because it is distracting on the screen for some people, but I really think that we should be circumspect with how we project our image. Biblically, you know, one of the reasons that the Amish used to not do photography, it was about representation. And it's about how our representations can be used, could be potentially used in other ways, in ways that we did not intend. And this is why, to me, it feels like this is a point of departure, and that they will continue to grow and develop in ways that I cannot yet predict. But I can see where it's going, and I just really felt the need to for people to point out this record keeping that is tremendous. Record keeping has changed tremendously with AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so before, we would be able to have each person to talk, to write through everything that the person says. Can we still do that?
Yes, yes. The transcript features are still there. There are, in fact, so many more features. So with transcript features, you can search keywords. For example, if you're looking for example, how many times we used compassion, we can definitely, and that's there, that type of thing. And the metrics, I find I'm watching it grow. As I became aware probably 2 weeks ago, I said I really need to talk to them about this. And I've watched it even grow in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Yes, with the latest Apple update. Yes, it's tremendous.
Wow, it's
It's
amazing. And
growing tremendously fast.
yes,
So
and
is this good or not good?
It is. I remain neutral on the position.
Yeah.
I just was wanting to tell everybody here, because I feel that I started off as an individual record keeper, and I know that many of you have also done record keeping for this, and this is a tremendous advance in record keeping in such a way that there are metrics, there are transcripts, there is exact record of the entire interaction and all of it. So if you say something, here, it will be recorded. It is, I mean, in anyway, yada, yada. Are we ready are there more questions?
Do we have to record?
what?
I mean, we can stop recording. So if you wanted to stop the broadcast, for example, there's a button here to stop broadcast. But I believe that Zoom does things that I'm not entirely fond of. For Zoom, in using the platform of Zoom, Zoom is allowed to record and use all of our images and words. They are allowed to reorder them, resequence them, and do whatever with them. It hasn't happened that they've been challenged in court with this that I know of yet, but that happened probably a year ago. And many people are seeking alternative platforms, which all have their advantages and disadvantages.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, Yeah, and Baba, I remind us that what Baba has always told me is do not be addicted to the technology of today, that this is just something that we are using for the moment, and that it's like a conduit. In aviation, the most frequently traveled pathways are airways are called vectors, and that is the continuum of all of this, that it's one vector or another, that nothing's going to stop the flow of it, but it's not always going to be the same vector. It's going to be on a different things will change, the media will change, the ways that we do it and the ways that we engage it will change. Necessarily it will change.
Okay, so Japa Saraswati, just would you be telling us what happens over and over again for the media?
About not being addicted to the technology.
About the future, yes. And each time something happens, you let us know.
Okay, I will. Yeah, I'm happy to. Well, and I feel this. I, we have choices, like if you want to say something to just the group, um, just ask for the recording to be turned off and we can turn it off. We will turn it off. That's, I think that there has to be a place for transparency, but there also has to be a place for privacy, and to honor all of that.
Okay, this is sound good. Okay,
Yeah,
well, thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, South City, be sure to tune in. Okay. Okay, now, oh, and I want to tell you, this is Parmatma. She is from Canada, and she is one of our uh, healers. Okay,
Welcome.
yes, we are so glad to have her. Okay, so now,
Thank you.
yeah. Okay, so now, shall we have the chat?
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, it's doing the thing.
Oh, and then I want to let you know that I have had two different kinds of groups for healers. They have done 3-year, what do you say?
Oh, the Soul Answer training with you?
No, for healers.
They've been healers for 3 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Like with Aagia Pal and Parmatma. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing, have another group over there, and we're going to do that for Sunday, and we'll see about that. Okay.
You see it in the chat?
Okay. So, Japa Saraswati,
Yes.
will you talk to us slowly?
Sure. I'm texting it to everybody now, so it's in your text messages as well. What happens? Baba Siri Chand has begun for us to use our portal for consciousness, no reality. Perhaps this means not being able to use everyday self to work with our normal time-space reality continuum on Earth. such as making appointments, making up grocery lists, understanding your pain, physical, mental, or karmas. That means about using our normal lives. Ugh. On the other situations from Baba
Wait a
City.
minute. It means, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay. Thank you. On the other situations from Baba City Chand for light workers are fast moving to the shift to the Aquarian Age, to move from consciousness non-reality, in which we are learning how to transform through different energy planes, especially through our sibling ETs. We are being from these energies that we are sourced from pure, expansive, and highest love. Now, most of us are learning from the kindergarten level through the energetic planes, are now the portal through consciousness non-reality. But how can we do both while being effective from our earth reality, as well as being non-reality, no reality? You may have already begun from nursery school when you have listened to Soul or Baba City Chand or more. And if you have learned communication for energy healing from both sources, including past lives from karma, storage, etc., then you already have merged two different planes. For instance, you may think about an image as a triangle, to think as on the apex of the triangle from the higher sources during consciousness non-reality. While seeing the bottom triangle base is based on everyday self reality. Now you are seeing both of these energy planes are interacting with no reality, with reality emerging together. So even though your soul, Baba City Chand, sibling, extraterrestrial, etc., may listen to your everyday self reality as well as soul self, then you can focus to decide how you want to use your free will to switch from energy planes, even use them as a conversation between both. Oh, that's cool. This is so important to daily meditate with consciousness non-reality. Our higher beings will stretch out our own consciousness to awaken us by steps to create our energetic planes, whether fast or slow. Don't worry, just keep up. And if you want this emerging consciousness non-reality moving through this Aquarian shift, that will totally finally change your own being. For the meditation, we'll do 1 minute of heart pumping and 5 minutes of consciousness non-reality. That includes, so consciousness non-reality means strong heart breath, slide away from fear, non-reality, no thinking, no everyday self, no list making, but only feel, just be. And then we'll use 2 minutes to become aware and maybe take notes. And then we will listen. Lots of love from Siri Gian. I wanted to say for Parmatma about on the second paragraph from the bottom above meditation, even though soul or Baba City Chand or sibling beings, you'd asked about the sibling beings, and we can also understand sibling beings like Baba City Chand as an intergalactic consciousness, that there may be sibling beings with who might be potentially giving messages in this way that you might be listening to. For example, I guess to touch on your sibling being ET question earlier.
Okay, I'm sure that Parmatma is right there with the ETs.
Okay, awesome.
Right, Parmatma? Are you?
Absolutely. I'm very aware of all of that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Now, does anybody have any, do you understand that?
Yeah.
Everybody, you got that?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's meditate.
Okay. So, since this is from Baba Siri Chand, you may listen from the message or you heal just from Baba Siri Chand at this time. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we are ready. And so, whoops, let's get down here for 1 minute heart pumping. Oh, wait a minute. Parmatma, do you know about heart pumping?
Yes, you explained it the other night. Yes, thank you.
Okay, got it. Okay, so go ahead. 1 minute heart pumping. And now begin CNR. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe for 2 minutes to become awareness for your notes. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe. Okay, Aagia Pal, are you ready?
Wow. Well, I'll do my best here. What Baba showed, so I asked Baba, what about this kindergarten thing? You know, what's going on with that? And he began to show me, so these triangles are equilateral triangles, and the base has like a gravitational pull. So the base of the triangle is you know is our everyday self, and it's pulling us down to it. And he reminded me that so kindergarten means I'm starting with a small within within the confines of a small triangle, and reminding me again that a triangle is the most rigid geometric figure there is. So it's safe, it's confined, and so to stay in EDS, and it's possible to move into CNR. And in the kindergarten of this all, when I move into CNR, it may be just a very simple um, experience. It may be something um, just a lightness of being, or just a sense of love. And what he said is that so as I stay within the bounds of this triangle, that triangles are going to embed themselves into the next larger one, then into the next larger one. So as I develop from kindergarten up through deeper, up through, see, more disciplined, maybe, yeah, and become more familiar, then the planes will unfold. So the triangular planes will unfold for me. So not to get frustrated or, look down on myself for being in kindergarten. So that was really the heart of the whole meditation there, that these equilateral triangles, while they're the most rigid, they are protective, they are, and they respond to my energy, to my, the deepening of my energy. And as that happens, more space for love and light and, beings beyond my own understanding, my own, consciousness, will appear, and the triangles will begin to embed in larger ones, and then continuously larger ones. And then to remember that the magnetic, there's like a gravitational force there with the base, and that is what keeps all of these together. I asked, what about a pyramid? If we went three-dimensional with this triangle, and he didn't seem to want to go there. And yeah, it was like, no, stay with this. You're in kindergarten. So, um, yeah, and it leaves me with something very new to explore. And so I was very grateful to Baba, for leading me, and he's going to just lead me a little bit at a time, just the little bits and pieces, because this is huge and very, very important. So, little breadcrumbs here and there. And so my practice is to be patient and aware and grateful.
Mm.
So that's that. And I'll share the time.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay. Parmatma? Oh,
Right.
unmute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah, I just get a lovely feeling of peace. I think I'm becoming aware of Baba Siri Chand's presence.
Mhm.
I think that's mostly all I have to share.
Okay. Because it's about your feeling, right? You know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, if you do with that, listening with the, how do you say, with the two levels together, do you think that you could understand or realize what's happening? Like with everyday self,
Yeah.
like ideas or what's happening or directions or whatever.
Yeah. I feel that I can get myself into a place where everything is peaceful and there's no disruption of thought from everyday self.
Mhm.
And at some point, it might not be that, you might not want to go there right now, but I find it interesting about the triangles. And I'm wondering if that interfaces at all with what some of us call different dimensions. The first dimension being our own I am presence, and the second dimension being Indra's net, where we're connected with all things. And the third dimension being more like EDS. But maybe that's too complex to try to understand that, or to try to, you know, compare those.
Compare with what?
Well, the idea of different triangles, I'm trying to understand that concept,
Mhm.
with the base of the triangle being the base of it all, and kind of the gravity of it all, and because that's what I think of when I think of the first dimension. When I think of the first dimension, it's just our presence, our I am presence, our real presence, the what we really are. But it's probably too complex to try to compare the different dimensions. When I think in terms of 12 dimensions. For
Oh,
now, we're talking about 2 dimensions.
okay. Because, there's another thing I want to tell you, all of us, that everything that you have already, how can I say it?
Learned.
Well, taught everything.
Yeah,
Be careful. Basically let it go.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Because your understanding is coming from CNR. And then also learn that to the earth for EDS. It's all coming from CNR, and it becomes totally simple.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah,
Do you all understand that?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you so much. Okay. Gian Das Prem?
Satnam. Hmm. It's funny because I was looking at my stack of journals that I've had, and I was going back in my pile to like just glance through it this morning, and I guess I was sort of looking back, and sometimes I look back to when I was in kindergarten or nursery school, right? Because we do these things, this open communication for creation, for also receiving information that can be taken in a more subtle way. I believe when we're younger, we have less fear towards certain things. So that was really beautiful to see that reminder. Because at my age, I'm looking back, right? So looking through the life, and then we're speaking of other lives, right? So, and then we have practiced certain things, and we are practicing certain things. And it sounds a little bit like Kundalini in there too, right? Where there's an uprising and a noticing of the breathing, along with the parts of the body and the inside of the body, and focusing on the breath and allowing that way to come, right? For creation to come without the thoughts and whatnot. The stages of that learning are just so amazing, how it can, change who we are as a being. to waken ourselves up more, to show us who we are naturally, right? And in a sense of, coming into that explanation too, sometimes we're letting that go, and it's like being in a dream sometimes, I think. But we do have a control, right? Our heart is giving us that way, that it's beating the whole time, regardless of we're awake or sleeping. So there's a way in between that, right? Or is there not? So we lose the explanation. That's the beautiful part of it. We already have begun, right? And here we are, we're in this beautiful school of learning. We get to be in this place where we're gifted with so many things, and with all the witnessing and the constant change. And it's the beauty of technology that allows that too. And what I've noticed from being a manufacturer of technology is that it's always changing. It's changing within the assembly. We have fixes, removing bugs and foreign matter from our communications to open up a clearer channel. And it was really cool today because I was able to write down, a few things. And it's like shapes and designs. I had to learn how to draw a certain amount of designs and whatever for plumbing, and learned how to draw 3D, and then the math behind it, and how shapes come together and whatnot, and then there's formulas, and how numbers come together, and it's so beautiful. Numbers are just like this beautiful thing, and the numbers and the light, they communicate, right? So the higher the light becomes, the more open the communication becomes, so the rules drop away. And so here we are, we have certain rules that we're following as adulting and lifing, following these certain rules that we are. And what seems to be the important rule or thing falling down from the books, because I believe the books are sort of falling away. This is where creation comes to us, that we're able to understand the numbers, and that we've come here to share all of this freedom with the here being now, right? So for me, it was just noticing what the orbs are doing. Like for some of my dreams this week, it's just so amazing how you can or within the experience, you can practice certain ways of, especially with the media we have, whether it's movies or what have you, but creating movies, within our own mind, and creating our own reality of our way of vibrating out our colors, our numbers, our patterns, right? Because these orbs of color that are able to go from one place to another just by being, and they're not carrying weight with them in any sense. So, we can see the unseen, we can be what we weren't previously, because we're constantly changing. So we're accepting that, sort of walking up to that fear and saying, here you go. Here's everything I have, it's yours. It's a nameless, right? I can't be a sacrifice. How am I to be a sacrifice? But I can notice through that pain that I've dealt with, and coming through that pain and noticing where it may have come through, bringing it up, cycling it out of the body, and having it find a way. When people leave, right, they ascend, they leave their body, and there's a certain process that goes on with their body. I mean, I fished when I was younger, and sometimes we did it. We'd get up early in the morning before school and go out and have our breakfast. And one morning I had catfish, and I don't think that I'll ever eat it again, because of the feeling that I had to deal with that life of going through that process. Okay. Because it stayed with me for a while. And I can go into my personal ways of loss with people that I, are no longer here. And now, we have people that in our families, and we experience loss through this way of being, right? And we're given this power, this ultimate power of coming into that deep sadness, or even sometimes it's joy that we experience through other, a child being born, or and holding that life and seeing that life grow, right? And so that way of coming back, to me, like seeing myself in the sandbox, and noticing where I am now, 60 plus years old. And, you know, um, I wrote down a couple of things. I wrote down a few things, but the how being forgets while remembering the old and the new. And silence from above sometimes it's bringing the life in that is always being from that, that pie in the sky or whatever, I'll fly till I die and then I'll see why, right? So this, for me, in my personal experience, coming out of the body and whatnot, and opening new waves, and noticing the tides that are coming and the heights of the transfers between those waves of energy, and noticing that communication that's coming back, and personally just becoming more still and deepening my breath a little bit more, noticing the sanctity and the clarity. There's no sacrifice, and relinquishment is the part of ownership. And for me, it was showing me the mountains and the pyramids of sometimes getting that look from up above, right? And the clear line of communication that can be created when we have the communal sharing of that, utmost equality that's creating the power. Yeah. And at the end, I wrote 72 times 2 is 144. So yeah. And sometimes we need to have goggles on our face. It's okay when we close our eyes to find that lock and that look within our third eye range. And the aura creates invention through group learning and love, and that we are changing into that community, right? Of that sort of I am Satnam and willing to give. Yeah. And thank you so much for this opportunity. It's so cool. Yeah. Of the double helix and stuff, and the twin, what do I want to call them? Twin infinity circles. I sort of made this little drawing. It looks so cute. And it just sort of looks like a stop sign with a couple extra lights, or maybe something back in the chakras I need to look at in the charts and stuff. So thank you so much. It's so cool how we can learn more. I think at any age, and that it's possible to adapt with this. What is here is what is known, and what is there is what is shown. So it's just being a witness and coming into that seeking, yeah, with peace. So and Waheguru to that, for us coming together and sharing our thoughts and our loves and our prayers for everybody here in this world. Because yeah, we're being challenged, but we're facing the challenge, head on, and it doesn't have to have a face like the orbs. They're pretty clear about letting that be known about, let's move past that, and the vibration, notice the vibration. Waheguru, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, breathe a minute. Good. And understand that the teacher is coming from the CNR, from that portal. Do you all understand that? Because everything that you know may get, there is nothing that you have seen before. Do you understand that? Okay, but so know the difference now, because you know the base of the triangle is EDS, and the apex is from the portal, and it's coming for you, each of you. Okay, thank you. What did Harimandir talking about? Did you see this?
Oh, I left a note. Harimandir sent a text message saying she has a meeting shortly after and that she has to leave punctually. So I was hoping that maybe she could share next.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she has time.
Yes, that would be fine.
I don't have anything to share at this time, so I'm just listening. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What do you feel about just all this stuff is happening? Harimandir?
Uh, it's a lot, and
You
it's
got it.
yeah, and doing the everyday self things intertwined with the greater movement, and it's knowing that that what we are doing at the perhaps the everyday self level is important and has an effect on the greater visions also.
Excellent. Okay. Now, because, other people have not understood that, and they maybe come, what do you call it, fearful, worried, and so on. Do you understand that? So
I think fearful and worried are pieces, but anger is also another piece.
there you go. Very good. Okay. So now you understand what's happening. And if people are feeling that, you be sure to stay emerged with CNR. Great. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Okay. Sahaj.
Satnam. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. When Harimandir was speaking, I just heard with respect to like anger and emotions, stay curious because some of that is not yours.
Wait a minute. Say it again. What about the
When Harimandir was speaking, and you were both speaking about emotions, fear, and Harimandir said anger, and I had this picture of, yes, these are things that we have, but oftentimes we are experiencing anger and it's not ours, or any emotion. It's not ours. We have picked it up from the environment where it has been projected towards us, most of the time unwittingly, by people who are not aware that they're having that effect. So stay curious when you feel something, especially if it's overwhelming. And it's hard to sit with fear and it's hard to sit with anger and be curious instead of just experiencing the emotion. But we can do both. But I think the first question when any kind of overwhelming emotion comes at us is this mine? Is this mine? Just asking that question and taking a breath can give you a lot of information. And that image of the triangle, that base is very wide and strong, right? To keep us steady. And that point at the top is where we get our information from the ethers or from soul or however you want to describe it. But we're in this body and we have the earth. So that solid grounding platform, the bottom of the triangle, is where we can also draw up earth energies, and it's also where we can exchange energy. We can ground ourselves and ask if it's an emotion or an experience or what's the word? A thought running in circles. We can ground ourselves and we can let those go down into our grounding cord and be transmuted. Because most of us are running around much of the time carrying other people's energy.
You got it.
And until we consciously let it go, and we can bless it and let it go, and we can bless the people, but I think we need to be very deliberate about going to our crown chakra even, and like just consciously intend or visualize clearing that out. And like maybe go through all the chakras, particularly when we get into fear, the first chakra, right? This is what, we're afraid for our well-being, our physical well-being on the earth. And that doesn't have to be wide open, picking up stuff all the time. If you're in a dangerous situation, you want that to be so, but for most of the time running around, we can dial that back down. And the same thing with the second chakra. We don't have to feel everything. We can dial that down. For myself right now, that's the road to sanity for me, because I recognize very clearly that I'm not just experiencing my own grief. And most of this is unwitting, but people bring their grief stories to me.
Oh my God.
It's common. It's common. And it can be overwhelming. And people do it, I think, out of a desire to connect. They see a grieving person and they say, oh, I grieved so heavily. This is a person I can connect with on that level. It's too much for me at this juncture. So I am forming protections for myself so that I'm not taking on their grief. I can bless them and let them go and not offer my own grief as a sacrifice to them in some way. That's a very interesting way those words came out, but I realize that is part of, again, mostly unwitting exchange of energy that people are actually looking for, which is wild. That's only some people, There are also many kind people, but we accidentally, and here's a classic one that I found, because there are people that know me and care about me. Sometimes what they will do is they will just be projecting heavy worry in my direction. They're worried about me. What they don't realize is that the way that they're trying to alleviate suffering for me is to project themselves into my space with this heavy worry. I don't know any other way to explain this, but so then that's sitting in my energetic space. And I had the experience recently of experiencing heavy, heavy anxiety for like 3 days or more running. And I was like, it was crippling, but I also the whole time was thinking, boy, this is not me. This is not me. And then I figured out who it was. I went and looked, I meditated and I went into the space and I looked. It was not just one person, but the one that was affecting me the most.
Mm-hmm.
There they were. And it was somebody that anyways, suffice it to say, I recognized that and then I let it go. I grounded it, I let it go, I let it be transmuted, I let it be released, I let it be forgiven, any and all of those things.
Wow.
And
Okay.
the next day, I kind of ragged from all of that physically. I did not sleep well, and I decided to be peaceful with myself and go back to sleep for a while in the
Yay.
morning.
Uh-huh.
And that person came and visited me in the most beautiful way. And they came towards me with so much love, and we just connected to each other in that way, in the everyday self, it would be so vulnerable, but when meeting in spirit is so, there's no vulnerability there. There's just the pure spirit meeting together, and the clarity of the connection and the intention out, because it's outside of the mind. Um, so that's what's possible when we ask, is this mine? Is this even mine?
Okay. That's wonderful. And when you know about the change, at that point, can you listen from CNR?
Sure,
Would that help you?
definitely, 100%.
Yay. And
Yes.
that's why we do it all the time.
Yeah,
That was great.
thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. Sun City.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So it's been an unusual week, and my experience has been a very deep period of just forgetfulness, not being able to remember anything. And that has opened up a lot on a soul level. Because I couldn't remember anything, I had to rely on soul.
Yay.
And so instead of being frightened of this strange reality that just sort of had been slowly and quietly growing, of this a liberation from remembering, actually. And it's been coordinated with what a serious medical practitioner saw as problematic. I was really worried. And beautiful person. Name is Rick Schnur. He's here at Advocates, and is worked with me in really wonderful ways with EMDR for healing from certain kinds of traumas that were making me non-present, and what they would call dissociation. So it's been a journey of moving and healing from, and I think it's very important across the world and in our everyday lives, because just watching the news is pretty traumatic. So moving from like a pathologized inability to face reality of what's happening, into some other into the soul space, so that I'm not traumatized, and I think others this may be true for them too. Not traumatized, but able to stay present through soul. And I think what I'm just realizing from listening to everybody, and thank you so much for the sharing of just such deep, beautiful soul work. I think some of the paralysis and in kind of holding back of the Aquarian experience, this movement into the Aquarian age has been the trauma that people experience by watching what's really happening, say just on the news or with the president or all that stuff. So I don't know if I'm making sense or putting things together, but that's what I've gone through. And to reassure my practitioner, who actually I had to go to, I've had a couple of head injuries, significant. I've had a huge, can't even tell you, at least a story high, big fat glass door fall on my head since I've since I've been here. And I, didn't crack my skull, which was good. Had a sturdy skull right there, but had a couple of head injuries, and one on a work site. And I was like, so what's going on here? Why am I having these repeated injuries? So what's kind of coming from soul is that don't be not afraid. Like, when the angels, it's Christmas time, and when the shepherds saw the angels and all the stuff that was going down as Jesus was being born, at least those, shepherds were experiencing soul and spirit in these tremendous ways. And yet, the angels came and said, don't worry, angels, it's all going to be okay. And then they got led to Jesus in the little crib. So it was all very beautiful. So I hope I'm making sense, because I haven't, I've been going through the spirit. So what happened that my doctor was like, we need you, I really want you to go do this healing modality. It's called life stance, where they just they thought, maybe I really had some head injuries. And that's why I was forgetting so much or never remember it. But literally, I just couldn't remember anything moment to moment. But when I started, so, I went ahead with the first half of this life stance thing, and I'm going to have a second half. And the word came back that, yeah, it was real clear evidence and neurological evidence that I'd had multiple head injuries. And that was serious issue and related to this space that I'm actually experiencing as an enormous gift of soul. It took me a while, and it just in connecting to soul, I realized, wow, yeah, I've had trauma, no doubt about it, and it's held me back. My first psychological limited human tool was to dissociate and just not be there and thus not remember. But the healing that came, and I really do love my God, I love the EMDR. It's such a compassionate, loving healer. And it's such a good experience. But for me, and I shouldn't say but, and so that was all happening on one level of reality, which is scientific and human intelligence, et cetera, et cetera. And that was, so I was open to that process and that healing. But what was even deeper, and I'm only able to express it, understand it, and recognize it through our work as a soul group, because your energies help me, and my training here and understanding here made it, oh, yeah, but even bigger is that this is a soul experience, and not remembering, being present is the healing through soul, that it's all infinite, it's all good, and it's going somewhere. I profoundly experience it is going a transformation that maybe is a lot more like the pangs of birth, a woman giving birth, than it is anything scary or destructive. But it's another, I hope I'm making sense. It's a totally different paradigm of soul that is healing in a very different way. And I'm becoming present in my, when I started practicing this, suddenly my memory came back and I could remember things. So it's been, I just was never frightened, which is so remarkable, because other people were like, we have a saying in New York, scared shitless. They're like, oh my siblings were like, what is going on with you? And the doctors they're like, this is really serious. You have head injuries. and I would drop in the, like, what they call executive functioning, which is like getting things accomplished in the world. I was really struggling with that because of this paradigm shift of living from everyday self into a genuine, profound soul transition, transcendence even into life from soul, where, yeah, there's traumas, and yeah, scary, frightening things are happening. And from a soul perspective, which is really a love perspective, just profound love, acceptance, non-judgment. In Satnam Razai, we do a lot of relaxing into, I forget, they had words for it too. So I hope I'm making sense. And my ability to function is very different under the paradigm of soul than sort of the ego-driven, mind-driven. Okay, I'll do this and this and this and this on my list of things to do today. Satsidi, you gotta make sure those tax forms are in, and Satsidi, you better get this car inspected, and Satsidi, that perspective versus coming from soul, where it's not executive functioning, which people were really worried about me, like that I wasn't getting, I was worried myself because I was driving around in an uninspected car, which is a serious crime in Massachusetts. Like, if I got a bad cop, they might really give me a hard time stopping me. And of course, one of the side things on one of the mirrors on the side of my car got wrenched off. So it just is like very interesting things happening. But well, I'm just trying to simply say with the examples is when I'm genuinely living from soul, which is love, acceptance. I'd be bewildered once in a while, it's like, oh, so what's going on here? I sure as hell don't understand where this is all going, but it's healing, and it's transcendence, and it's acceptance, and it's allowing, and it's the way and path of actual genuine love and spirit. And I had excuse me, and that's a very different way to live than the kind of ego everyday self. And I actually had to, what came to me in AA meeting, because people were getting all anxious about something, this, wonderful young man in an AA meeting was like, well, since I stopped drinking, I've just, it's like, I feel really good, but I also feel really bad. I feel like I'm dying in some way, but I'm living this whole new life. And what I was able to share at the meeting myself was, we know we're in the realm, whenever we encounter a paradox, like I feel really sad, but it's making me very happy. This loss has been an incredible gain. This horrible disease of drug addiction and alcoholism took me to my knees, but look, now it's brought me to sobriety, where I can live a beautiful life with such depth and love. So it just said, one of my teachers in high school was a Catholic priest, Father Himes, and he was just a brilliant teacher of the world of spirit and the world of soul. I didn't realize it at the time, but he'd always say, boys and girls, young ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are in the realm of a paradox, you know you're in the world of spirit and the world of soul, because it's that profound. The paradox lifts us out of rationality, out of emotionality. We transcend those limiting perspectives, our everyday selves, judgments and decisions, and we move into the realm of soul. He didn't use those words, but he said it's a spiritual awakening. It's an awakening. It's another way of life where both, you've transcended your mind, you've transcended the limits of your ego, and you're in the world of spirit. And it was such a comfort to this young man. I didn't put it in all those complicated words. I said it real simple. Just said, this is one of my great spiritual teachers as a young person. And that it really is true. And I hope I'm making sense, but doing it. Yeah, I hope um, I hope I'm able to communicate, because it's kind of trying to communicate soul. It is not trying, that's what it's living and experiencing and sharing. And I pass.
Got it. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. This is
Oh, thank you.
to me, this is very
Simple.
similar to Sant City and Sahaj. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yep.
And what we're finding is what you were talking about, what you said was transcending
Transcending.
from the everyday self and all of those things that everybody thought it should be like this and be like that, and is transcending to the portal of CNR.
CNR.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for your patience and love.
Well,
It's so
thank
wonderful.
you.
So how wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Yes. And for everybody, if something like that happens to you, don't get worried, right? That's what Thought City did. Yes. And understanding what's happening. That's what's happening. All of us.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just say one thing? Aagia Pal.
Sure.
Yeah, look, what you said about similarity with Satsiti and Sahaj, and exactly, I think, right on, because as I listen to Sahaj, she realizes what's not hers. This is not mine on the EDS level. Okay, so it's contradictory, this is not mine, etc. But on the level of truth and oneness, it is hers. It's all of ours. And what Sut City was talking about, was I'm just hearing this for the first time and making sense of it. It on the level of EDS, what seems to us to be contradictory, and what she was saying, is in fact truth
You got it.
in CNR or in spirit.
That's right.
Yeah, cool.
That's letting go of fear.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. And each of you.
Each of us, yes.
And Aagia Pal was saying this is about growth. Oh, both of you. With also Gian Das Prem.
Mhm.
Learning. This is a learning.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
Okay, so it happens. Just stay with the portal.
Yep.
Okay.
I just, this is Sahaj, I just wanted to quickly say that I'm seeing this other integration point because we're in this body with this consciousness for a reason, and we have our paths. So I was thinking, okay, when I say this is not mine, there are things in this path that I'm walking and what I am learning, and like in the body and everyday self, these emotions that I'm having, these things. I can't walk your path, and you can't walk my path.
Mm-hmm.
But so on a cosmic level, we are all one, and we can offer healing, but it's not something we are doing. Uh, I'm feeling it, and I'm trying to find the words that when it comes to the emotions uh, that we are given and the things that we carry, there's a reason why we have an everyday self. There's a reason why we have that. It's part of the path that we're walking, and we want to keep our consciousness elevated. In this conscious non-reality, and also acknowledge that we are walking this path. So when I declare that is not mine, it means the energy that has entered this space, it's not mine. I did not create this. I am turning this energy back to the person to whose path it belongs, and then they can do whatever they wish with it.
There you
But
go.
it is not mine. I need to stay in my own auric space, clean and clear, so that I can stay connected to the
Amen.
CNR.
Mhm.
Thus endeth my speech.
Okay. Thank you so much. And then also, I want to tell you, Parmatma, as um, for for meditation, she is simple and peace, and that's it. She's there. That's it. You see? Okay. Okay, so now Japa Saraswati.
No.
Satnam. Well, the first thing that really came to me during this was, I don't know if you all remember the book. It was from maybe the 80s or the 90s. All I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I loved that book because I remember there was a poster that had the things that the author Robert Fulghum. So I want to read his list of things because they're wonderful.
Okay.
And it's
Say the name again.
Robert Fulghum wrote All I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
And he made this list that said the book, he was a minister, and it was on reflecting that his core values really came from this list, which was share everything, play fair, don't hit people, put things back where you found them, don't take things that aren't yours, say sorry when you've hurt somebody, wash your hands before you eat, flush, warm cookies and milk are good for you, take a nap every afternoon, live a balanced life, and learn some and think some and draw some and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands and stick together. And wonder, remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup. the roots go down and the plant goes up, and nobody really knows how or why, but we are all like that.
Oh, wonderful.
It's so
Oh
wonderful.
my gosh. I was in a teacher conference where this amazing man taught us a song to remember all of those things.
Really?
Oh, let's see if I can remember it. Um, of all you learn here, remember this the best. Don't hurt each other and clean up your mess. Take a nap every day, wash before you eat, hold hands, stick together, look before you cross the street. And remember the seed in the little paper cup. First the roots grow down and then the plant grows up.
Yay!
Isn't that cute? But it's true.
Thank you for sharing that, Sahaj.
It just started playing in my head when you mentioned it.
Mhm.
I haven't thought of it in 20 years.
It's such a beautiful little, I mean, I remember reading the book many times because I found it soothing. The guy had a similar vibe to Mr. Rogers in so many ways. But what I heard from Baba was that these were primary skills for primary needs, and it was the base of Maslow's hierarchy. And then what I saw was that is that karmas are often kept at the root. And what I felt was that on that pyramid, the higher sources, was it Sahaj? I think you said the crown chakra, remember the crown chakra? Because part of the message that I got is uh, that so many heavy karmas are kept at the root because they're to do with home, with ancestral traumas, with ancestral karmas. And what I'm hearing from Baba is to shake it up and to totally experience a fluid reality and a fluid experience, and to simply allow the changes, because we are in this time of such great change and shift that we can release easily those karmas by simply allowing, by being in this fluid experience and fluid reality. But he warned that it could feel a little bit disorienting because of how rapidly things are changing, or just that it's kind of dizzying. So he said to listen, to deeply listen, and to really tune in to deep intuition, to go into soul and to go into deep intuitive knowing. And he said this repeatedly, was to tune in. And then what I heard was to regulate the body with the elements. So we've got to drink water for water. Earth is eating food and doing apana. um, breath is the wind, and then sleep, meditation, and prayer were interacting with the element of ether. But with fire, he gave me a whole little message, a whole big message, that fire is tapas, but it's also activity, like running around and, going to the grocery store, cleaning the house, whatever it is that you're doing, moving, even going to the gym. um but that it's Agni, that it's the passion, that it's the things that we're passionate about, like painting or singing, or our family, whatever we're passionate for. But also it's temperance. He showed me tapas, that passion, that the fire comes also from temperance, and from doing austerities. And that fire is, he showed me that it was a total balance, that it's the passion of the things and the drive that keeps us alive, but also that it is the temperance that also kind of keeps us alive. And he just showed, so what he showed me though was to regulate the body by using the elements. So what he meant by that was drink water, eat healthy food, sleep, meditate, pray, breathe, which with breath, I felt that was pranayama, which for me is part of my cardio exercise, of doing cardio and staying regulated with the breath. And then with Agni being balanced with how we use our fire element. And he repeated again to listen, to just deeply listen to your own intuition. And then what I heard so beautiful, Sunye Dukkha Papaka Nas, listening, pain and error are erased. And listening to what I asked Baba Siri Chand, and Baba said, listening to the teacher within. So what he said again, and this is the big message that I got, was that like when it feels disorienting, or when it feels like it's too fast, or when it feels like it's just a whole awful lot going on, tune in with the Adgare Name and bow deeply to the teacher within. Like take that moment of reverence to be listening to the teacher within, and then do the Adgare Name and really visualize that energy swirling up around us, so that we feel that rooted, that grounded nature and that protected nature, so that we can be tuned in to listen deeply, Sunye, to listen deeply to whatever the message is that's coming through for us, because that's part of it with reality changing, that the thing that we thought was reality, that was maybe about our karmas, or maybe it was about our parents or our home, or like these deeply held convictions and beliefs, that doesn't have to be reality anymore. Like the thing that we thought was reality, let it go. Let it go. Just whew. But then we're like, what's reality? Deeply listen, tune in, and be in that place of fluid reality, so that we can be open to the changes, and being also an early adapter to new modalities of technology, and embracing the new ways, embracing the change, because it's happening with or without us. So better to advance nicely, basically. And I guess that's my message.
Well, that's big. That's the
It
truth.
was. It was so good. It was so good. Baba's so good to us, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Because those vibrations of those new shift for the Aquarian is really moving. You know how you shake dirt? This
Mm-hmm.
is what's happening.
Yeah.
And so the new, the reality, the true non-reality coming to portal, this is what's happening. This is the truth.
Oh,
You,
wow. I love that. I just am putting it together with non-reality, and that reality is changing. So like those big cosmic shifts, that we thought reality was this, for the last 50 years, we just thought that it was like that. And now embracing the non-reality.
that's
Like,
right.
yeah, and it's got to be just this. What he showed me was that it's for that going with it, is going with the flow, is for our own good, that we could swim against the river, but that's just a tremendous waste of energy, you know?
Okay. Okay. Did you say do go with the flow?
Yes, go with the flow, because it's a waste of energy to swim against the current.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm just going to ask you about what's regarding Baba Siri Chand and what you were talking about, and how about these times with the MAGA people or situation? What's happening? What would happen with us next to that, next to the old MAGA?
The way you first pronounced that, it sounded like muggle, which seems so appropriate.
Oh, okay, now I say MAGA. Go ahead. Okay.
Are you asking me or everybody?
Well, I was talking about you and maybe others too.
What was the question again?
Who's talking?
I'm sorry, it's Aagia Pal.
Oh, okay. So, these days are
Yeah.
with the MAGA place as they're basically lies. And
Oh, mhm.
so now what do we do with that?
Got it. Thank you.
Anybody? Japa Saraswati?
Yes.
Okay. How about you? Would you tell us about that?
No. Um, for me, it's neutrality, and um, it's neutrality.
Great.
Yeah, I would have something to say about that too.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, I just, are you finished, Japa?
Parmatma, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree that it's neutrality, that we shouldn't even think in terms of those people are all MAGA and these people are this, because I think we're, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think we're reinforcing that divisionism, and if we just take it as including, they are included in our consciousness, we are them, they are us, it might, that might make us emotional, but we need to deal with those emotions, and we need to objectify those emotions and see what we can learn from those emotions. That's how I would see it.
Sounds
I mean, that
good.
doesn't,
Go ahead.
yeah, that just comes from my own sense of knowing. I'm not hearing Baba Siri Chand say that, but
Oh, but I
that's
bet
just how
you
I,
are.
yeah.
No, ask. Is Baba Siri Chand telling you this?
Well, I mean, maybe other people can ask. I don't know. I just go from a new sense of knowing now. I feel like,
There you go. Yeah.
but I'd love to hear if anybody else might want to ask that question.
I agree. And I feel for me, hearing that from your voice was a way for Baba Siddhi Chand to be speaking through you, for us to get the message, for me to hear those words that I needed to hear to articulate it in that particular way. So thank you for your message.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Satnam, Satsiri, can I jump in for a moment?
Sure.
The sense I got from soul was soul is like the body in that there's a processes of healing, and we yeah we we had to deal with Trump is like kind of like the virus getting cleared out. We have to see the symptoms, we have to see the illness, we have to see in very graphic, clear detail what we are on a soul level longing to release. And with that release comes the opening of the heart. So, pass.
How wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much.
For me, can I go? The noticing the truth in the nursing that creates the rhyme of the full story. So it's, yeah, and here at this place, on these sacred grounds, as we notice the people that were here before and the people that are here now, we all have a grand opportunity for peace and acceptance of all of this freedom that we have, right? So yeah, noticing that and noticing the sun is still there providing the water, the ability for life, yeah. And notice the vibration. We don't have to so much go into the media. We can just notice the vibration and notice what's going on around it, because we're doing beautiful things now for healing and noticing. So noticing, I think, is really that, for me, that truth and where I'm using my vibration for love and being.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, dear. Harimandir, do you want to say anything? Unmute you.
I see she's still on, but I thought she was teaching.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So now, Sahaj, would you lead our song?
Oh dear, I just stuck a cracker in my mouth. Give me a moment.
And I'm so glad that Angel is with us.
It's always good to have angels.
Mhm.
Okay, let's take a beautiful, deep cleansing breath. Exhale. And another for good measure. And let's inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale. And bless you all.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Love you, love
Bye,
you.
Satnam. Love you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Love you all.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.